Hey everyone, and welcome to the results video of the suspended swinging coaster contest. In this contest all the players had a month to create one of these nausea machines. Now we got 20 entries for this contest. I will show all of them. I will start with the one that got the lowest score and I'll finish by announcing who's the winner of this round. Alright, in 20th place we have this entry from YOLO Davi. He created this large map with a beautiful landscape. Now I really like how the landscaping here is done, and the foliage, the forest is also done pretty nicely. I think what the most people complain a bit about is the look of the supports. I mean, custom supports they look really nice for this coaster type, but these these supports look a bit top heavy. I mean, the pillar is a bit thin compared to the thing on top. Also, yeah, for some of these supports, the coaster just travels right through the pillar. So the placement also probably could have been better. Now, and something which you could probably also do for the supports is also try making a few diagonal supports. They will usually look really nice on this coaster, though they may sometimes be a little bit tricky to make. But I think it's worth it if you ever build another one of these. But yeah, overall for 20th place, I still think this entry looks great. Alright, in 19th place we have this entry from ATN, and ATN created this beautiful bridge here. I quite like the way this bridge looks, and under this bridge we can find this coaster. Now it's definitely a unique location for this coaster. Yeah, it also doesn't seem to pick up a lot of speed. The height of the station definitely isn't enough for the train to make it all the way through. I did spot that the train has quite a high lift hill chain speed. So I can imagine there's a few spots where some sneaky chain lift was hidden here on the track. But yeah, definitely a very unique entry in a very unique location. Alright, here's an entry from Wes. Now Wes usually makes tiny entries and this round is no exception, but they're full of details, which is always really nice. So yeah, we can see this coaster traveling around this castle. This castle looks really good, really nice. I also love this little dragon here on top of the castle, a little flag on top of here. Yeah, it just looks really nice. Also, you can see a little catwalk here under the lift hill. Yeah, there isn't really a lot to see here, but it does look really nice. Alright, the next entry is from B Player, and B Player made this really nice looking coaster. Now, I really like the layout for this coaster. Especially how these two lift hills pass over each other. That's some really neat interaction. Now the layout for the ride also pretty nice. I quite like how it passes through the landscape here. It is pretty tall, so it does pick up quite a bit of speed. I think the supports also look really nice. Maybe some more diagonal supports would have looked nice here in this area. Also this part, pretty nice, although maybe the second part is a little bit on the short side. Maybe also it would have been nice if there were a ride or two extra in the map. Where a lot of the area is just either forest or just water. So maybe a little bit more to see would have been nice. Alright, next up we have a team up between 73 and Papanath. Now they created this beautiful landscape here, also with a suspended coaster of course, in an Asian theme. And there's some really nice pagodas on this map. Now, I think the layout for this suspended coaster here is quite nice. I also quite like how they did the supports for this ride. Looks like they used some of these sandstone pillars, but recolored, and they make for some great pillars here. But yeah, as for the layout of the ride, I think it's pretty nicely done. I'll see a huge waterfall here. I also quite like how the waterfall is done. Now, something that I didn't really like as much as maybe these rocks here. They kind of look a little bit spammy, and the water level is probably a little bit too high here. But yeah, overall I think it's quite a nice looking map. Okay, the next entry is from Jonah and the Quail. He's a newcomer on my server, and he created this beautiful suspended swinging coaster. I really like how he did the landscaping here. Another Asian themed entry. Now, I think the lift hill is really nice with this roof texture here. I think that works really well. Also love the path going right next to the lift hill here. That's some nice interaction. Now then we see the coaster, of course, and it slowly snakes downhill through this layout. Now, for the most part, I really like this layout. I did notice there's quite a lack of supports in the track. For example, this whole stretch is really unsupported. And, well, here's some nice custom supports on the wall. That's pretty nicely done. But in some parts, the amount of support is a bit underwhelming. For example, over here, or over here is another big stretch without supports. So yeah, if you make a coaster like this, the track is pretty heavy, the trains as well. So you'd probably want to have a bit more support for your coaster. And also some more custom supports like the ones here on the wall probably also would have been nice. But yeah, for a newcomer, I think that's a great looking entry. Alright, the next entry is from P2, another newcomer on my Discord community. And he created this beautiful suspended swinging coaster. Another one with 2 lift hills. Now, something which I did notice about this coaster. First off, I do like how they are synchronized on these lift hills. That's pretty nice. But something that I did notice, especially here in the second half, is that the train is a little bit on the slow side, especially here on top of this helix. When you have a coaster like this, you probably want to keep up the speed a bit more, so the vehicles actually swing outwards. And also this transfer track, I have no idea how this would work. Probably a thing to to check next time to make sure that it actually would function. Yeah, overall I do think this a really cool looking map. I love this temple in the middle. That's such a good combination of objects here. And I also love this little waterfall here in the corner. And together with all the tropical foliage, I think it's a great looking map. Alright, the next map is from Express CS. We have another Asian themed map. Now, first off, I love how the lift hill for this suspended swinging coaster is done. I love these torii gates. Yeah, and they just look so good around the lift hill of the coaster. Now, I can also see lots of custom supports for the rest of the ride. I think they're also done pretty nicely in most parts. Now, then the coaster just snakes through the landscape here. Quite a few tunnels to the track. I usually do not recommend people to build large stretches of underground track for their coasters. It's usually much nicer to have a lot of track above ground, so it's easier for the viewer to actually follow the coaster. Now, lots of these Asian style buildings as well. Something which I would recommend is to maybe have a few more windows in your buildings. That will make them look much more welcoming. And here we have another case of how would this transfer track actually work. Alright, next up is the entry from Dragon ZBW. I believe he's also a newcomer on my server. And he created this pair of dueling suspended swinging coasters. Now, I think they're synchronized really nicely. So yeah, that's really nicely done. It's quite fun seeing them travel up the lift hill together. Also going down here through this, through these downward spirals. That's pretty nice, and they're not exactly mirror layouts, which is something that I like. So over here, they'll both do different things. But for the rest of the track, they're mostly sort of mirror images. Now, it's also some nice supports throughout the track. Also a few questionable ones. Not really sure how clever it would be to stack supports like this. Doesn't really look well supported. And over here there's also a few curved supports, which I'm not sure is a great idea. But for the most part, I do think they look really nice. There's also some nice scenery around the map. I like how he did this little dragon. Alright, next up is the map from Isao. Isao created this beautiful coaster. Now, I love the layout. It looks like it would pick up quite a bit of speed here. And it flows really nicely. It has these really nice long curved hills, curved drops. And yeah, it really picks up a lot of speed throughout this layout. Here we have another really cool looking helix. And everywhere there's also these nice supports, which are really well done. Also, there's some nice scenery around the map. I really like these buildings over here. You can also see a custom swinging ship here. And especially this building here looks really neat. Something which I think Isao could have done much better is the outside area with the sand. I mean, it would probably look much better if there was some dry grass here. For example, you can use the Japanese snowball trees for that real nicely. They're not actually included. But yeah, they look like the brown trees. If you just move them into the ground a bit, it looks like dead bushes. And I think that would have been great to decorate the map edge a little bit more. So right now on the map edge here, it looks a little bit boring. But yeah, the scenery actually does look really nice. So I think that would have easily improved the entry by a lot. Alright, the next entry is from Sui Generis. And he created this really cool coaster. It's actually a looping coaster which sits on top of the track and a suspended swinging coaster at the bottom of the track. Yeah, they're synchronized really well. And I really like the way that Sui Generis did this. It's really fun to follow this coaster around. And yeah, the layout of the ride is also pretty nice. Now, I love the artistic look of the map. This color palette that was used looks really nice. And I love the way that Sui Generis does the trees at the edge of his map. Yeah, it's just such a good color combination. And I love it. I love how they are positioned here, also with the color of the foliage. The foliage is just so nice to look at. And here's another something that Sui Generis likes to do. I also saw it in his previous entry, and that's that he also puts these trees in the black tile color at the edge of the map. And yeah, that just gives such a nice look here at the map edge. That's just really neatly done. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this creation. Right, the next entry is made by Lurker. And Lurker actually made a map without using any cheats, which I think makes this a lot more impressive, especially seeing that there's custom supports everywhere as well. So yeah, custom supports are tricky to do, and even more so without cheats. So yeah, props to Lurker for actually pulling it off. Now the supports do look a bit questionable in some places. They're very bulky, and I'm not sure how this support would hold anything up. But yeah, it does give the coaster a really unique look. Now this is supposed to look like a very industrial map. You can see all this acid water everywhere throughout the map. Lots of flames around here, lots of pipes. So yeah, definitely probably not the most healthy place to be in the world. But yeah, definitely a very unique map from Lurker. It's not often that we see someone make a cheatless map. Now, if you think I'm going through these entries too fast, you can download all these entries from my Discord server. It's completely free. You can find a link to my Discord server in the video description. Alright, the next map is from TechnoKiwi91, and he created this beautiful looking suspended coaster here in the middle of the map, and it's all decorated in a beautiful style. Now the map, I think it looks amazing. I love these waterfalls, also the map edge decoration. The watercolor, very bright, I quite like it. A beautiful bridge over here, and just beautiful gardens all throughout the map. That just looks lovely. Now, as for the layout of the coaster, I think the layout looks nice. The supports also look pretty nice. But yeah, when you follow the coaster through the track, it does look a little bit on the slow side, especially these helixes over here. It kind of crawls through this, through some parts of this layout. And when you make a suspended swinging coaster, I think it's always a good idea to actually, yeah, make it pick up a little bit of speed. So you can actually see these coasters swing through the curves. And for this layout, yeah, that happens a little bit less. But still, overall, I think the map just looks great. Alright, the next map is from AJ. Now, I love how he did this lift hill here. It's actually this spiral which goes upwards. And it's just a really unique way to make the lift hill for this coaster. I think it actually works really well here. Now, this coaster travels all throughout this area. It has some really nice pacing. So it travels through some tunnels here. And it has some really nice interaction with the paths, but also with some of the other rides, like over here. And here it passes under this bridge. Now, I really like how AJ did the landscaping and the foliage in this map. This is just a pleasure to look at. Love how he's also mixed it with these mushrooms here. And for most of the paths, it's actually just grass, which also gives the map a really unique feel. You don't often see people do this, and I think it looks really nice. There's also a secondary coaster on this map, and it has this weird junction which I really like. It actually passes over it probably 3 or 4 times, each time in different directions. Yeah, and I think that's also really nicely done. I really like the way this looks. You can also see some custom mushrooms over here in the map. And all in all, this is just a beautiful entry to look at. Alright, the next entry is from Colorblind Unicorn, and he created this big suspended swinging coaster. Now, I think this is actually one of the best layouts for this contest. It has a double lift hill in opposite directions here in the middle. And yeah, these supports that Colorblind Unicorn made, they just look insane. I really love the way he made them look. It's just a nice mix of single rail coaster track and these pillars. And yeah, the shape of these supports is just so nicely done. Yeah, these supports are some of the nicest I've actually seen in this contest. Now the coaster also travels through this big castle, which is also pretty nicely done. I also really like this bridge here in the middle. I think if there were 1 or 2 extra rides in this map, maybe a nice freefall tower or something like that, or a nice star flyer, maybe even a water ride, I think it would have scored even better. Alright, next up we see the return of someone who hasn't joined the contest in a long time. Here's the entry from Susbucket. And Susbucket made an entry which kind of looks, it kind of has a steampunk vibe. You can see some beautiful supports for this coaster here. It travels all throughout the map in between all these buildings. You can see a beautiful little bridge over here, which it also passes under. You can see a mid-course brake run, also beautifully decorated. Here's some more helixes and then a long underground section before it pops out of the ground again somewhere. And there's complicated supports all throughout the map. Now, in my opinion, maybe a few too many colors were used on this coaster. The track is this dark purple. Then there's these gray supports, red supports, and there's green supports. Maybe it's a little bit overdone, but if you can look past that, I think the supports actually look pretty nice. Especially here on the lift hill, I think these supports just look great. Also the station, I think it's pretty nicely decorated as well. And in the rest of the map we can also see these other beautiful rides and decorations. And we can also see a really unique map edge here at the edge of this corner. Alright, next up is the entry from Jan the Man 227. He created this wonderful suspended swinging coaster. Quite a big layout. So first half of the ride is a bit on the slower side. Now I think it has really nice supports over here for the lift hill. Also has these light effects, which is pretty cool. So these are recolorable versions of some of the scenery from the futuristic set. I think the coaster actually has quite a decent speed throughout this first part. And then it goes up a higher lift hill. There's this really nice castle, again, with these futuristic lights on it. Yeah, I think this aesthetic we don't often see. These castles, but with all these modern futuristic vibes. Now, I quite like this big drop over here with the big curve around it. Then there's a higher part with some of these supports. I think some of these supports maybe are a little bit overdone. I think this could have easily been done, for example, with just a pillar and just a diagonal little section of track. So in my opinion, maybe a little bit overdone. But at least they do look like they are holding up the track. Yeah, I think this is definitely a very unique look for a map. I don't think I've ever seen an aesthetic like this. I think the layout of the coaster is also pretty nice. Alright, then in third place we have the entry from Bear and 30. And they teamed up to create this suspended swinging coaster. Now, the layout really makes me think they looked a lot at Ninja at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It starts with a lift hill here at the start, which isn't too high. And then in the following parts of the layout, it will actually go lower than where it started. And then before the station, there's another lift hill to bring it up to station height, which is something which Ninja also does. And just like Ninja, it travels quite a lot over the water here. Now it is a little bit on the slower side. It doesn't pick up too much speed. So yeah, I think they definitely could have maybe added a little bit of height to the track just to make it swing a little bit faster in these sections. But yeah, I think it does look really cool. I love the way they did these supports. That just looks amazing. Lots of perspective tricks with the diagonal coaster track. It definitely must have taken quite a bit of time to make all these supports. Because if they did it the way I think they did it, they would have to do these supports from all 4 angles. And that's quite a bit of work. Now, I really like the way they did the path through this entry. They look really nice. Also some nice perspective tricks once again with making these stairs. They're actually stacked pieces of track here. And you're actually looking into a deep hole here where the stack is, or the track is stacked. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to explain, but yeah, I think it's really neat how they did this trick. You can see it used in several more areas of the map. And I think these buildings over here also look beautiful. You can see lots of pizza stalls being used here to make these roofs. And there's some other beautiful rides in the map as well. Yeah, I think it's really wonderful work from Bear and 30. Alright, there's just 2 entries remaining. I will first show both of them, and after that I will reveal which one is the winner of this round. Alright, here's the entry from Kanaifa and Timmy Tuner, and they created this beautiful castle over here. I mean, these roofs, they look amazing. Also all the different levels here of the castle. Yeah, they just created this wonderful looking structure. Also the layout of this suspended swinging coaster, it's just amazing. I love how it interacts with everything here, with this path. This turnaround here on this path circle, it just looks so great. Yeah, they just created a great layout for this coaster. Also the supports, yeah, they did a really nice job with them. It looks like they put 4 of these pillars next to each other and put the monorail on top. And it's just really a good combination. I also love how these lift hills cross each other. That also looks really nice. Coaster also travels over the river rapids here. It's once again some beautiful interaction here. The river rapids also really nicely done with all these waterfalls. The paths all set in these nice circles, so there's nice curved paths over here. Yeah, these 2 players just created a wonderful map, and it's probably going to be one of the highest scoring maps we've ever seen in these ride creation contests. Everywhere you look, there's this beautiful stuff. Really a nice job from this team. Alright, and finally here's the map from Enox and me. I actually helped Enox to finish his entry. I did quite a lot of the coaster layout and most of the supports. I helped with some of the extra rides, but Enox did most of the landscaping and most of the castle actually. But yeah, the coaster actually has a slower section here inside the castle where it passes over the guests, and then it comes out of this tunnel, and over here it has a section where it picks up a little bit more speed. Now, we couldn't actually give it enough speed to make it all the way back to the station. So that's why we decided to make an extra lift hill over here. Then over here there's a steep drop in this turnaround, kind of like a big bad wolf. And yeah, after quite a short section it returns back to the station. Maybe we could have done another turnaround over here, but I wasn't really able to fit it in a nice way. But yeah, the rest of the map, we just filled it with some extra rides and tried to put some nice landscaping in the map. Some nice ruins everywhere. And Enox just did a really nice job with all the foliage here on the map edge, some more decorations. Yeah, it was just really fun to work together with Enox on this, and I'm really happy with the result that we put together here. Alright, now it's time to reveal which one of these last 2 entries is the winner of this round. Is it this giant castle from Ducklink and Enox? Or is it this giant castle from Kanaifa and Timmy Tuner? And the winner of the suspended swinging coaster contest is... Kanaifa and Timmy Tuner. Now, it's probably no surprise that this map ended up winning. Personally, I thought I had this contest in the bag until I later received this entry and I almost flipped my table. Well, I didn't actually, but yeah, this map is just so nice. When I saw it, I immediately knew that this map would become the winner of this round. Timmy Tuner and Kanaifa, they just did such an incredible job with this map. I have no idea how Timmy Tuner did it, since he also spent a lot of time on his entry for the mini contest. He's just a beast. Yeah, it's just wonderful to see Timmy Tuner and Kanaifa put together such a beautiful entry again. And it's definitely a well-deserved winner for this round. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. I think it will be fun to end this video with a ride on the suspended swinging coaster. So stay tuned for that. Now, if you enjoyed watching all these entries, please like this video to really help out my channel. Please leave a comment which one of these entries is your favorite. And if you want to see more videos like these, you can always subscribe to my channel. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.